Welcome to BCB Live. Yes, we are that safest station in the nation. Welcome to BCB Live, the safest station in the nation. We're here today, Drive Safe Dave, on a Monday to bring another week of safety. And Dave, no longer do we need to appreciate the truck drivers of America out there, because that was last week.
I think we do. I think we do. We just don't make it a week. We just do it every day of the year. How about that, sir?
You know, we should just be like that in general, right? But yeah, hey, you know what? I know it's a new week, Drive Safe Dave, and it's not quote-unquote Driver Appreciation Week. Hey, but it is your week, and we thank you for what you do. We thank you for staying safe out there. And Drive Safe Dave, when they're out there driving, nighttime or daytime, and they see a cone, anything that should come to their mind?
Yeah, traffic cone. That's not where you need to be driving on. You don't want to drive there where the cone is. The cone is to direct you away from that spot, whether it be parking, whether it create a line, whether it create a lane of travel. That traffic cone is there to design as a temporary shielding device to point you in the right direction.
It absolutely is. And hey, listen, a lot of things this weekend happens, a lot of good sports.
Yeah.
Some upsets. Some
my Aggies won too.
What's that?
My Aggies won too.
The Aggies won, no doubt about it. My Roll Tide won as well.
Yeah,
but Dave, not that freaking impressive of a showing.
No.
We're in trouble right there. I got to say right there, we don't have a quarterback on that. But Drive Safe Dave, what about them Cowboys?
Wow. What about that defense?
That defense is unreal.
That defense is amazing. The offense stuttered a little bit, but you don't really need to worry too much when that other side of the ball is dominated as powerful as it was yesterday in the last two games. I don't think I've seen this great of a defense on this squad since the Doomsday defense.
It's been a long time. It was such a good showing that my daughter called me yesterday, said, hey, and she's a big Roll Tide fan, so she's kind of like, hey, forget Tide. Hey, if the Cowboys go to the Super Bowl, Dad, we're in.
We're in. Book tickets. Book tickets now. It's a little early in the season to be calling Super Bowl, but I am excited about the gameplay. I was excited. I just was a little frustrated on the offensive pushing it in. I mean, we kicked, 5-6 field goals?
So here's the deal. So here's one thing about sports right there. And I told that to Big Blue yesterday. We were watching the game. And I said, I just don't feel like McCarthy's looking at it from my interest. I've got money on the game. Hey, McCarthy, I need you to not kill the clock, but to run the score up a little bit, And I just don't know, Dave, if at the end of the day, them coaches, sometimes they just play to kill the clock. They're playing conservative. Right. Why? Because you don't need to turn the ball over. Just run it. You're killing the clock. And meanwhile, I'm like, no, dude, we need 7 more points, Coach. Coach, can we get 7 more points?
He's looking at a win column. You're looking at the line.
Yes. I'm looking at dollars and cents, a little bit different than he is. Hey, Drive Safe, we're going to come to a break. We're going to go to a break. We're going to come back. We still have lots and lots of more to give you. But one thing as you're driving right now, make it right now the safest you've been, right? If you're listening to it on the Blue, if you're watching us right now and driving, pull over. Don't, right? That's not what it's for.
What is the number one cause? What is the number one factor in all accidents, Sir Rick? What is the number one factor?
Inattentive drive? It has to be. Speed?
Speed is the number one factor in all accidents.
You.
You actually have to have some form of speed to actually have an accident. But speed is actually the number one contributor, and it's usually driving too bad in adverse weather conditions, driving too fast out on the road for no reason at all, and not in a situation, not slowing down, in a situation that requires it.
And again, I'm going to go with that. Yeah, no doubt speed, right? You got to be moving, especially if you're going to hit something, or you're probably not going to hit something. You may get a hit, yeah. But if you got to be moving to hit something. But listen, you've got to be staying focused on that road. And Drive Safe Dave. I mean, I see it as I'm driving home every day.
Right.
People are on their phones.
Correct.
And Dave, but there's nobody in front of me, right? I'm driving down. I'm only going 35 miles an hour in my car. Why can't I be on my phone, Dave?
Well, I'll tell you, Rick, and it goes to like this. Each moment is a blink of the eye. Every second is a different moment while you're driving, and the amount of distance that you travel in each second matters because it changes from moment to moment. And when you're on the phone, you have an opportunity to miss. You have an opportunity to misjudge. You have an opportunity to not see. You have an opportunity to be distracted in some way, shape, form, or fashion from that next moment of danger. People can pull out. Pedestrians can step off a curb. Dogs can run out in front of you.
The lane can change.
The lane
you can come across a construction zone all of a
Absolutely.
sudden.
There are so many ways in which moment to moment it can change. And Rick, I think this is what's really important. Why wouldn't you want to give 100% of your attention while driving to what you're doing? Because that in and of itself is all that's required.
It's all that's required. But Dave, it's that temptation right now that I'm missing out on what's going on in the world, right? I got to just see this highlight I've heard about. I know, right?
Hang on just a second, guys. Let me say, hang on a second. How would that be a good show?
It's just, it's so unsafe. And I get, we talk about that the temptation's there every day.
Every day.
And sometimes you're going to be on that phone. And as we tell you, you're not supposed to. But here's the thing. When you're on that phone, you've got to realize you've got to get off the phone.
Right.
Put that phone down because you've got to stay focused. And Dave, that even means, if we've discussed before, even at a stoplight.
100%.
Even at a stoplight, you've got to stay focused. And it doesn't, when you just think about that, Dave, you say, focused on what? It's a stoplight, because if you're on your phone, traffic starts to move either direction. You see it out of out of the side of your eye or whatever, Dave, you're going to move.
Right. And you got to be able to be paying attention. It is an intersection. And it is an intersection. You got to stay attentive. And we talk about distracted driving, Sir Rick. We discuss it. It is the thing that will get, how many times have we seen in an accident? How many times I didn't see the other guy?
Yep.
I wasn't, or I was coming out of a stop sign. I didn't see them.
Are all accidents, Dave, preventable?
I'm going to say all accidents are in some way preventable, yes.
By somebody, right?
By somebody.
Yeah. Now, if you're sitting in your truck and you get hit, there's not a lot you could do about that. But anytime, and I'm just going to say this, I'm sure there's an exception.
A meteorite.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
But if you're driving and if just because the traffic stops up there, you can't really say, well, the traffic stopped or it's foggy.
Right.
And we see a lot of bad major accidents in that fog.
Right.
And that means you've got to slow down,
100%.
though.
That's
You
what
just
we were
have,
talking
if
about.
you can't stop, if you can't see what's in front of you, you've got to slow down in time to be able to stop.
Right.
You just have to. I know, again, there's exceptions to this rule. It's like driving on ice. It's like driving on snow. It's like driving in the rain. It's anywhere you're out there, the situation around you creates that speed, that space that you must create. And Dave, sometimes you've got to go ahead and create more space. If you can't see what's in front of you,
slow down.
You got to slow down.
Or get off the road.
These are just things that we just have to make sure of. And again, you're right, Dave. A meteorite came out of nowhere, and you didn't. I'm not talking about that.
Exactly.
I'm talking about just what you are out there, and you're a part of every single day.
Yeah. So, and we talk about it, and we talk about those conditions and those situations. We're talking about distraction. We're talking about slowing down. And I'll tell you, if we don't continue to create the conversation and keep talking about it, you're going to forget some of those things. Look, when you get into the big cities where there's 8 million people, Sir Rick, what are you going to tend to do? What should you do? You should slow down.
Slow down.
And realize you don't get in a hurry through there.
Yep. There's a lot of lanes.
Yeah.
For a reason, right? A lot of lanes because there is a lot of traffic.
Right.
And there's a lot of people moving through them cities all the time.
Right.
Throughout the entire day. I'm just going to say this, that being safe, Dave, it takes intention.
Of course.
It really does. You can't be safe on accident. You've got to continue to work on it.
Right.
You've got to continue to want it. And Dave, it does require action because you've got to make changes as a person. I've got to make changes, Dave, when I drive home.
Yep.
I've got to make changes. But if you never attempt to make that change, if you sit there all the time, Dave, and just look for excuses, well, what if that you're missing the whole point.
Right.
Hey, what if you stayed off that phone?
Right.
Hey, what if you slowed down? What if your space was great, was 4 seconds like it should be? What if, Dave, you were looking around and you were staying focused while you were driving, and that car that moved into your lane, you already saw it and you slowed down expecting that to happen? What if we just didn't, what if we really made a change?
So here's my question.
I'm talking
to you.
all of us.
Yeah, I know. Here's my question to you. Do you drive all the time in every situation with the ability to stop immediately before with the traffic in front of you? Did you ever
Do all the absolutely not.
Yeah, and that's
I forget about it.
We all do.
Yes.
We all get in the flow of the traffic.
For sure.
And we get way too close. We're running too close. And I'm telling you, one of the greatest things that we talk about here is speed and space. And that if we generate and we talk about it, you have to understand how successful you will be if you give yourself that ability to stop in time.
Yeah, if you give this show, if you give your own show a chance that you're watching right now, if you give safety a chance, Dave,
Right.
you know what? Here's what will happen. Is that even today when I find myself following too close,
Right.
something reminds me to say, hey, Rick, you watch this every day. You talk about it every day. You got to back up, brother.
Right.
And I back up. I typically do. Hey, Rick, settle down. You're a little anxious right now. You feel it, right? Somebody maybe cut me off. I'm feeling anxious, the anxiety. I've got to tell myself that. And then I have to act on it. That's what this show really also brings you. You're not negligent anymore. You know what's going on.
Right.
You know when you're following too close. You know when you're on your cell phone. It doesn't just happen, Dave. You know when you're on your cell phone, and when you catch yourself in that moment, even though you're not supposed to be on it, but you're on it, it's too late.
Right.
You've got to put it down.
Hey, look, I'm driving. I'll call you back. Is it emergency? I'll call you back.
I'm not even talking, I'm talking when you're looking at ESPN on your phone. It happens. When you catch yourself doing that, you've got to put it down.
Put it down.
Even if that text is just going to be okay, it's going to lead to something else.
Right.
It's not the time to do it. If it's that critical, that important, and many times, Dave, they're on the road away from their family. It may be that critical. Hey, get off the road.
Right, stop, pull over for a second. Find a place to pull over, make that call, clean your business up, and
get
understand
it.
what's going on. And by the way, you can call dispatch and say, hey, look, I'm taking care of something. You can call them and let them know, hey, look, I let you know, I had to pull over for a second. I'll be just a few minutes. I'll get back on the road, but I needed to let you know that I'm running a little bit later because I'm taking care of something. You know what? I'd rather you do that than hurt somebody.
All day. It's intention. It's what it really is. Hey, drive safe. A couple things we want to jump into. Hey, is anybody out there? Hey, look up in the sky. If you've seen some smoke somewhere, we got a plane missing. Drive safe, Dave.
Yeah, the United States Air Force is missing a F-35B right now. They're worth about $115
Is that a stealth?
million. Yeah, it's one of the strike fighters. They're worth about, I don't know, $115 million apiece.
But isn't the deal, though, Dave? I mean, if that was really worth its money, we'll never find it.
Yeah.
Right? Because
I don't know.
it's
Okay,
stealth.
so-
We
so-
ain't supposed to find it.
So an airplane, a pilot ejected in South Carolina safely. Something was going on, ejected. Now we can't find the plane. We think it crashed, but we're not sure. We think it landed somewhere. We don't know. And what I've got a question. If it's $115 million, Rick, how come it doesn't have one of those little find it beepers, like an air tag on it? I mean, like an iPhone air tag. Because I mean, if I had a $115 million item, I think I would invest in the $20 air tag, right? That would help me locate my lost luggage. This is a little bigger than that.
You know, I was talking to Kayla before the show. We saw this plane up here. You remember the old Pepsi commercial?
Oh, yeah.
Years and years and years
From the
ago.
80s, the kid-
yes,
the kid
and
that-
where that kid all of a sudden said, you know what, I'm gonna earn that plane.
Yeah,
and
he-
he went and he fought it. There I said, does he have the plane?
No.
Did he get away to get that plane?
He did. He actually got all the Pepsi points to get it, but he didn't. but he didn't get the plane, from what I understand.
Oh, Dave, how about that weather for this week?
It actually doesn't look too bad. Look, Sir Rick, you've got a little bit of weather off of the East Coast, but if you look today, it doesn't look too bad in most of the country. You got a little bit of rain out here just east of the Rockies, but look at that, Sir Rick. Still got a little remnants of Lee up here, but it petered out. I think they got hit by sea foam yesterday, and they had some sea foam that blew in from Lee, but other than that, they haven't really had a big problem. It's been a rain event. You know, it was kind of scary when it developed, but now it's gone.
Weather, not too hot anywhere, pretty
Not too
cool,
hot,
mild,
not too bad.
decent.
You got a little. It's 98 out in Phoenix, but it's Phoenix.
Yeah, it's Phoenix.
Dry
90,
heat, dry heat,
97 Vegas. We have 91 in Dallas. And in Lexington, 73. And up, drive safe, Dave, all the way up in Maine, wherever that is, 64-ish.
Yeah.
Okay, I do leave, I shouldn't say it, my son finishes up on the Appalachian Trail. Brag on my kid. He started right here, Dave.
Yep.
And he's all the
Walked.
way up here.
Walked.
To Maine on the
Walked.
Appalachian Trail.
Walked.
He finishes it up this weekend.
Wow.
Hopefully, right? He's got some mountains he got one more mountain to cross with some bad weather.
Right.
I think it may be a little snow, rain, something
Yeah,
up there.
it's
It's
about that
cold. It's the wrong time of the year to be up there,
Yeah.
but he's going to finish it up. Kudos to him. Drive safe, Dave. Hey, make it a safe one today. Dave, we'll get out of here. Any words of wisdom for our folks?
Yeah, slow down. Make sure you slow down. Find that, you know what? It never hurts to just slow down in a situation, in a moment, in a time, in a place. It never hurts to slow down for a second, reevaluate, and then make a good decision.
Hey, make somebody's day today. Dave, how hard is it? I mean, I know you are kind of spoiled by it. I make your day every day, but
yeah.
you
Yeah,
make
you do.
somebody's day today. Go out of your way to open that door, to smile at somebody, to say thank you.
Tip your
It
cap.
goes a long way.
Yeah, tip your cap. Do whatever you got to do. One of these, and it always works out there on the road.
God bless. Y'all take care and stay safe.
All right. See you, everybody.